Hello everybody and welcome back to another episode of your OGR, as today is game 72 as the Edmonton Oilers went up against the Los Angeles Kings and pulled away with a massive victory over them as we won 3-2, as we're just 10 games away, ladies and gentlemen, from getting to the playoffs. As I burp while I'm saying that, because I am super pumped up to get ready for the playoffs, ladies and gentlemen, as we're getting into a competitive race. You know, the Edmonton Oilers right now, we are playing absolutely insane. We have 6 games in a row. We're on a big-time winning streak right now. We're only a few points behind the Calgary Flames right now. We're about 6 points behind, so we still need, a lot of wins and, the Flames to get a lot of losses. But right now, we're taking a pretty good hold of second place in the division. But instead of talking about that, before I get into today's episode, I'd like to just say, if you are new to the channel, make sure to smash that subscribe button and hit that like button as well, as that will be very much appreciated, boys. So, let's jump into today's episode, as this game was pretty fun to watch at some moments of time. I would have to say this was kind of like a roller coaster game. The first period we played amazing, and then we allowed the Kings to walk right back on in it. And then when we got to the third period, we seemed to shut down the Kings pretty good, to be honest with you. Now, without a doubt, the Kings deserve to win this game. Without a doubt, when they started overplaying us, without a doubt, during the second period. The third period, they weren't fantastic, but we were able to defend a lot better than what we were. Oops, sorry for hitting the mic there. We were able to defend a lot better in the third period than what we were in the second period. You know, they were peppering shots, they were taking a lot of opportunities, and Mike Smith was making some terrific saves during that second period, but it felt like the Kings were just all over us. They had 17 shots in that period to 10 of ours. And they were just all over the Oilers. They really were. They were just all over the Oilers, eating us up, dominating us. And, we were able to luckily pull away with a victory because of the fact that Mike Smith played amazing. Bouchard had one of his best games of the year. Nurse and Cece were playing very well defensively as well. So there's lots of good stuff to talk about. So let's get into the scoring summary here between the Oilers and the Kings, as the very first goal was scored by Connor McDavid, who breaks his career high, as he got 42 goals on the year now, man. Holy crow. Isn't he just an amazing player? Fucking incredible. As he got his 42nd goal of the season by Connor McDavid there. That was a big one by Mr. McJesus, as he got his 42nd goal. It was a beautiful goal and really smart play by Bouchard here, and he had an assist and a goal on every single one of these plays, and he was just terrific throughout the entire night for the Edmonton Oilers. Really breaking out the puck really well, being patient like he was with this play. He made a beautiful play where the Kings tried to set it up. Tried to get a little bit of a breakaway, but Bouchard broke it up. He stayed patient, just looked around, seeing that McDavid was coming off the bench. He's like, all right, I'm going to wait, and just sent it over to McDavid. Man, I am nailing everything today. Fuck me. Sorry, boys. I am aggressive today. I'm hitting the mic. I'm hitting everything. I'm freaking scratching my finger on my mic. Sorry about that, boys. Made a beautiful pass over to McDavid. McDavid bolted down, sniped it right into the back of the net, and scored a massive one for the Edmonton Oilers to start off the game, which was terrific to see. And then right after that, going into the second period, where the Kings really started taking over the game, Trevor Moreau got his 14th goal of the season on a shorthanded attempt there, which I cannot believe. Our power play has been ranked. I still don't know why Barry's up on the top unit, because he gave this puck basically to the Kings. Deneau was all over him. He practically just turned right into the boards, gave it to Deneau, and then Morrow picked it up without anyone touching him, and he was able to tuck it right into the back of the net, right through the 5-hole of Mike Smith to tie up the game. And then Mr. Fogue Daddy, baby, gets a big one for the Edmonton Oilers, getting his 10th goal of the season by a beautiful setup by us by Ryan. Beautiful breakout pass by Bouchard to get it over to Ryan, and then a beautiful goal, beautiful tap in by Fogle to give us back that lead. And then going into the third period, a big old booch bomb, baby. He hammers this one right into the back of the net, throwing it right past quick. I think he even got a piece of it, but it was too much of a bullet and went right into the back of the net for his 10th goal of the season. And then Arvidsson made it close with getting his 20th. It was a really nice snipe. Our defense score was all over the place during this situation. Kulak was on the right side. They were all over the place. Arvidsson was able to bury in the back of the net to get his 20th goal of the season. And that's it. That was the end of the game. We were able to shut it down for the rest of the game and play really well defensively. I think this is the biggest note that I could give this team, the fattest sticker I can give them. Best defensive job that I've seen all fucking year long, man. I've been waiting to see a good defensive game where I could actually sit in front of you guys and be like, Yeah, that was actually really good D from this team. That was actually a really good shutdown of the game. We were actually able to hold a 1 goal lead, which we never usually are. So it surprised me a ton that we were actually able to hold the lead and be able to shut down the Kings. Like, this was terrific for us that we were able to shut down the Kings. And now, no, they're not no great goal scoring team, but still, this is a big, huge feat because usually we give up a lead and then we have to fight for it back and then we win it in overtime or in the last few seconds. It's usually how it goes with us. But we were actually able to shut it down and pull away with a massive victory. So let's get into talking about the players and everything like that and who played amazing. First of all, I want to talk about Mike Smith because he's been actually having some good games for the Edmonton Oilers. He had a good game against the Sharks, pretty good game against the Ducks, and it was against the St. Louis Blues. But his past 3 games, he's been really good. Only allowing 1 or 2 goals. He's been putting up some really good games. So if Smith can continue to do this and continue to play really good, this is the Mike Smith that we need. That is the Mike Smith that we need. But if he's not going to be that guy and he's just going to be inconsistent again, that's the problem with Mike Smith. He might have one of these games and then he might have a few shitters down the road. So hopefully we can get the Mike Smith that is playing really good right now in the way that he was last year. And he was doing pretty well this game. He was making a lot of good saves. He wasn't giving out the big, juicy rebounds like he was against the Sharks. I think the more starts we're giving him, the more he's getting more into it. But I'm hoping that he can become that big guy for us coming into the playoffs because, honestly, all you need is a goalie. And a goalie can carry you a long way once you go into the playoffs. But I'm very pessimistic on Mike Smith, and I do not believe he's going to be like turning into a Dwayne Rollison. I don't believe that. I hope he does, but it's going to be a long chance that he ever does that. So moving into, I want to talk about the defense first because this was, I guess, a big topic of discussion and how well they played. Nurse and CC had a really good ending to the game, and I thought they did pretty good throughout the night as well. They did give up a lot of opportunities. They gave up 23 shot attempts, but, that's going to happen on a nightly basis with that defensive pairing. You're always going to see them give up a lot of shots. And that's just going to be the factor of the matter is. But honestly, they played really well throughout the entire night. They, blocked a decent amount of shots. They played pretty well defensively. They generated a few offensive opportunities as well. They weren't terrible throughout the night and a lot better than what I've seen over the past few nights. Keith and Bouchard were one of our best defensive pairings, especially Bouchard. Bouchard was absolutely terrific throughout the entire night, and Keith really didn't make a whole lot of mistakes throughout the entire night, so I give him a pat on the back for that as well. But Bouchard was terrific. He was so calm throughout the entire night, making beautiful passes, playing really well defensively as well. They were just a beautiful defensive pairing, and they were on the ice for 2 goals for, and they were absolutely terrific for the Edmonton Oilers throughout the entire night. And then you also have Kulak and Barry, which they were all right. They didn't generate a whole lot of offense. They didn't play too bad defensively throughout the night, but they weren't terrific. But our defense score was pretty good, definitely better than what it has been other nights, and we played really well. We shut down the Kings and all their opportunities. We played really well defensively, and I think it was to note because of this defense, we played really well. And, Mike Smith bailed them out a lot whenever they did make a mistake, but they didn't make as many mistakes as we've seen in the past. So moving on to our 5-on-5 lineups now for the Oilers, for the forward core. Kane, McDavid, Puljujärvi, they just continue to play amazing, man. That line is just absolutely terrific. I love when Puljujärvi plays alongside of McDavid. It just puts a smile on my face every time I get to talk about it because how terrific Puljujärvi is just astounding. The way that he plays defensively, the way that he just has his stick all over that puck like 24/7, no matter what. He is just all over the play. Like, if you're not a fan of Puljujärvi, you should be because this guy does everything a hockey player should. He has so much puck possession. He's all over the puck. Like, every time he's playing defense, he's all over it. His puck's all over it. He just plays amazing is the best way to describe Puljujärvi. He just does a lot of things right out there, and he's just absolutely amazing. Of course, McDavid doing McDavid things, breaking his career high with 42 goals. Hyman, Draisaitl, and Yamamoto, they weren't doing a whole lot out there offensively throughout the entire night. They were mostly playing defensively, and I think they were kind of like a shutdown second line because they were playing a lot throughout the night against Kopitar, which is the reason why if you look at their defensive numbers, their goals against is not amazing because of the fact that they had 8 shot attempts for and 17 shot attempts against. But honestly, they did a pretty good job, and that's the thing with the Kings. They shoot a lot, so you're going to, of course, see those escalated numbers. But I thought Drysdale didn't do too bad throughout the night defending Kopitar, and we honestly, both McDavid and Drysdale did an amazing job of shutting down Kopitar throughout the entire night. They were just all over Kopitar every single time he got to handle the puck. Brassard, Nuge, and Cassian, they continue to be a rank line. I don't know why we continue doing Cassian or anybody. Like, he's just complete ass, and Nuge just not able to get that spark of Cassian. But Fogle, Nuge, and Ryan did really good throughout the entire night when they did get teamed up, and that's why they scored a goal there, as because they got paired up and looked really good. And then Fogle, McLeod, and Ryan also, of course, I really love that line as well. They always do pretty good, but I would like to see Fogle and Ryan paired back up with Nuge just because of how good that line would be. And I wish they were to call up Benson to play alongside of McLeod or something like that. I think that would be a lot better, but, you know, they're not doing that. But yeah, otherwise, that was a really good night for the Edmonton Oilers. Really big win. We played great defensively. Top to bottom, it was one of our best defensive nights. Mike Smith played amazing as well. And our forward core, we didn't do too bad. We generated a decent amount of opportunities. We definitely need to play a lot better. We can't just play really good in the first period and just coast the rest of the game. We got to give it, you know, our all in the first period. If we don't give it our all in the second period, we got to come back hard in the third period. But for now, guys, I'm going to end the OGR here. Thank you very much for watching, boys, and I'll see you guys all in the next one. Adios, amigos.